محرومة. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. In the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most compassionate, the most merciful, all the praise and thanks are due to Him, and peace and blessings be upon His beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He who is guided by the will of Allah, no one can misguide him, and he who is misguided, no one can guide him except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I do bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is His messenger. Assalamu alaikum. Now, today's session is 66. Today, inshallah, we will be highlighting some of the details of the great heroes, martyrs, shuhada of the Battle of Uhod. Now, Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Khabbab radiallahu anhu, one of the Sahaba, Khabbab ibn al-Arat, said, for those who are with us, what we are doing, basically we are going chronologically, historically, with what was happening with Islam and Muslims from the very beginning. We finished the first 13 years in Mecca and the migration to Habasha and the second migration and some of the details. Then we started with the beginning of Al-Madinah, first year, second year. We had a big highlight on the Battle of Badr, you know the details. Then the Battle of Uhud in the third year. And Uhud, basically it was the aim of that the Meccans, the people of Mecca wanted to take revenge because the hit, it was horrible on their heads. No one was expecting what happened. So in the Battle of Uhud, the biggest lesson, as you know, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam commanded the soldiers to protect their back, the archer, to protect them, and they unfortunately disobeyed the commandments, and a very difficult, big, horrible lesson happened to them. Still up to this moment, we are taking a lesson. When disobeying the direction of the revelation. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he told them, subhanallah, by the will of Allah, Allah wanted this to happen, so that to show us that Allah will not excuse even the best of the best of the best of the group with the best of the creation when they break the law. I repeat, in theory, if Allah would excuse someone, who should it be more than Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Because of his existence, he did not make a mistake himself. I mean, for the sake of the love and the status of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we might think what should have happened, that Allah protect them even if they broke the law. No. It's like a lesson. When the law is broken, the consequences cannot be stopped. You got my point? The divine law. This is called Sunan Kawniyya. Sunan Kawniyya. If, for example, I do not care of my kid, I don't bring or raise him or her up to the standards of what Allah wants. I just ignore them. They are raised in the streets. The fact that I'm keep making dua and hifz Quran without holding my responsibility will not make my kid a Sahabi or even a practicing Muslim. The law says, even if I'm a Salih and I have the power to do it, but simply I decided to ignore it, by law, my son could be one of the criminals. We need to understand this. So Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave them the commandments. Don't leave this place, if you remember. قال ولو رأيتمونا نقطع. Even if you saw you are split into pieces, don't leave your places, which means an exaggeration, of the expression, don't leave your place. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he knows, but a big lesson happened. However, now let's see the consequences. When someone makes a mistake, how others will be influenced. I make a pause now. We, as a Muslim Ummah, one of the biggest characteristics that distinguishes our Islam apart from every other single system on earth, that our biggest concern is the society, not the individuals. I repeat, the whole idea of Islam revolves around many things. One of them, that's why, for example, the idea of reputation, for example, when we say قذف المحصنات, what's this? It's a had. It's one of the borders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that someone is punished if someone speaks in a bad about the honor of a man or a woman, that he committed zina or she committed zina. He should be lashed in public. But why? Society. The social security. The same thing. No one will be punished by committing a zina unless if 4 I witnessed him while doing the sexual intercourse itself, not just sleeping or even naked. But why? To protect the society. No one has the right to say, I think he, I think she. No. If you say that, you will be lashed. Shut up your mouth. Don't say anything. But I saw him naked with her. Shut up your mouth. Protect. Or otherwise, the society will be destroyed. And this is what we are facing now. You need to know this about Islam. Many of our, that for example, praying our collective prayer, Salat al-Jama'ah, it's something witnessed in public. You need to know it. You need to notice it. You need to be influenced, the group. We gather here. We don't pray at our caves. We come with the Jama'ah. So the idea of a society, the influence of society, the purity of the society, the cleansing of the society, the protection of the reputation of the society is something very high. So that's why really there is a big gap between liberal individualism and Islamic values. Big gap. Because liberal individualism is based on my God is my desire, my freedom. You got my point? So liberals, they always look how to achieve more fulfillment for their individualistic desires, regardless of the others. It's my body, my time, my whatever, my. No, Islam, no. It's not just society. In Islam, even we don't own our bodies. You know that. Our souls and our bodies, they don't belong. That's why, for example, abortion is prohibited. Literally, if there is no serious medical approved reason by an authentic source, an abortion just for the sake of getting rid of the baby, literally in Islam is what? You are killing an innocent soul. Murder. But it's my body. No, it's not your body. No. So we need to understand. You know this. Why I'm saying this? My point in Uhod now, now from one angle, MashaAllah, martyrs. But wait. Go back. Why those were killed? Because someone else has broken the law. Got my point? So, okay. Those who were killed, they were accepted from Allah because they were doing their job. Even those who broke the law, they did not commit kufr. They commit a mistake. But we, as a collective, holistic view, need to take a lesson. That, do you know what we call hadith al-safina? The hadith or the prophetic tradition of the ship. This is one of the most important hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam with regard to social responsibility. قال مثل القائم على حدود الله والواقع فيها كمثل قوم ركبوا سفينة فاستهموا فكان قوم في أعلاها وقوم في أسفلها. He said, the likeness of those who do their best to fulfill their duty in applying Allah's commandments and those who do not care and they break the commandments are the likes of those like a group of people who wanted to travel using a ship. Their number were over the size, so they have to split into two groups. One of them on the top deck, one of them in the lower deck. So, قال فاستهموا فكان القوم الذين في أسفلها إذا أرادوا أن يستقوا ماء أزعجوا إخوانهم. Look, good intention now. Which means the group who were in the lower place, when they want a water for whatever from the sea, they used to annoy their brothers in the top. قال فقالوا في أنفسهم لو ثقبنا ثقبا في حصتنا حتى لا نزعج إخواننا. They said, instead of just keep, going up and, losing the ladders and making and, splashing the water, why not to dig a hole in our share, so that not to annoy our brothers in the top. قال فإنهم, he was talking about the people in the top. قال فإنهم تركوهم وما أرادوا هلكوا وهلكوا. If those in the top left those in the bottom doing what they want in their share, all of them will vanish, will demolish, will disappear. They will drown. قال وإنهم أمسكوا على أيديهم نجوا ونجوا. And if they stopped them from harming this society, all of them will be saved. It's an amazing hadith. Amazing. Which is, by the way, it represents some of the core values of Islam. That's why we have the concept of Amr al-Ma'ruf Nahy al-Munkar. The farthest group on earth from liberal, secular liberalism or liberal individuals or individualistic liberalism is Islam. That's why hardly they meet. Hardly. Maybe in a very, very narrow, just, spaces. Hardly. Because whenever a harm will affect someone else, immediately it comes to you, shh, stop. Be careful. Don't. So we don't have that kind of openness and freedom for individuals. No. This is a big value. We did not decide it. Allah decided. That's why the society, that's why, for example, the punishment of the thief, it's horrible. Why? Because when a thief is free to come and go to jail and he knows by law he can come and go 10 times a year easily because of the law, no one will sleep safe. No one. So the law, if it's designed and it contains a lot of, gaps by law, no one will be safe. All the people, they need CCTV cameras and they need insurance companies from, billions of people, all of them, they're working, okay? And thieves, they don't care because the law at the end is not a scary thing for them. So, okay, you caught me, okay, making a theft against a car. Okay, good lawyer, 2 days, bail, finished. Another time, third time, fourth time, fifth time. The end result, every single person in the society, millions, they are not safe. Why? Because of human rights. But what about the others? Are they animals? I am, as a thief, I have a right as a human. Others, are they animals? They want to be safe as well. Here comes the importance of the divine law. Because who designed these laws? Humans. And God knows. Maybe those who put, sometimes in some countries, those who put their laws, they are the same people who run the insurance companies. So they put the law so that to keep the industry of thefts prosper. Wallahi, I'm not joking. Why not? Do you have an idea about the trillions that insurance companies gain? Trillions, not billions. Because simply, tens of millions, they keep paying tens and hundreds of millions, and those who do, for example, damages or problems, they are less than 1 or 2 or 3 or 5%. What about 95%? They keep paying for nothing. So what's this? Not billions, trillions. Type. If there is no danger and no thieves, insurance companies will not work. Are you with me? Subhanallah. This is an idea that we are witnessing part of it, to the best of our knowledge. Anyway, my point is this social responsibility and Islamic teachings. When you look in depth, it says, Ya Allah, how great it is. It's designed in a way that the priority that everyone should feel safe, not you as an individual. When you focus on this, you will see how great Allah's law is. And by the way, that's why sometimes those who understand, from non-Muslims, who understand this reality, they are afraid if this reality is known clearly to the masses. So therefore, they must put an obstacle in the mainstream media against it. Sharia law, you know? They coin a term. You know what I mean? They coin a term and they do like a brainwashing. Oh, Sharia law, Sharia. Do you want to do Sharia law? No, 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 no. أعوذ بالله. شو شريعة law? إلا الشريعة law. طب do you know what's Sharia law? No, I don't know. You know, chopping the hands. No, habibi. You know, they don't know. But it's designed to be as such. The people must be afraid. Because if they know it, they want it to be adapted. Like I always keep saying, who will not be happy on earth? Let's ask wives now. Give you a quick number. About 20 years ago, I was 20 years ago, I was making like a simple research. That's why my statistics are a little bit old, but it's valid to be used as a, you know, relatively speaking. About 18 years ago, I did a quick research about something. One of the things that I discovered at that time, 18 years ago, that 33% of married women in the UK, they are hit by their drunk husbands on daily basis. I repeat, about 20 years ago, 33% of married women in the UK, they are hit regularly every night by their drunk husbands. Type. When I was there 20 years ago in the UK, I was doing my PhD. I remember the population in the UK at that time was 65 million. But let's imagine those who are married, ماشي, just 20 million. Just. So 10 million of them, okay, women. 3.5 million, they are hit on daily basis. If you bring, I'm talking 30 years ago, with a very, very moderate estimate, just in the UK, I'm not speaking about the whole West now. Do you think if you brought those 3.5 million British, Anglo-Saxon, white women and asked them, excuse me, ma'am, do you feel happy if your husband is not drunk every night? What do you think the answer will be? Definitely. Do you think one of them will say, no, I'm very happy he is drunk? Do you think? It's impossible. Wallahi, if she's crazy, she will not say it. Who will be happy if her husband comes drunk, he's urinating on himself, hitting his children, breaking everything, and Allah knows what he might doing, and then he threw himself on the couch. Next day he will wake up, everything broken, maybe his son is injured, and start crying, forgive me, forgive. Next day he will come drunk again. Who will be happy with that? But who solves this problem? Islam. Islam, and that's Islam. That's it. That's what I mean when you discover, for example, if he becomes a Muslim, khalas, haram, that's it. No discussion. I think has nothing to do with what you think. I feel nothing to do with what you feel. But in the research, I don't care with the research. Haram. That's it. That's it. طب zina. Okay, bring me all, not wives, even girlfriends. If a girlfriend on earth, maybe I can assume that at least in the West, we have at least 50 million girlfriend for a boyfriend. At least. We have 400 million or more or less in the United States. We have, about 350 millions in Europe. So I talk about 1 billion. Yeah. Can't we find 50 million girlfriend type? Yalla, bring them, gather them in front of me. Hey, girlfriends. Do you feel happy if, I will use their terminology, not mine now. Do you feel happy if your boyfriend is cheating? Who will say yes? It's impossible. Regardless of their background or faith, regardless. No, by nature, no. This is my boyfriend. No, don't want. But what is zina? In our terminology, it's committing a zina, okay? You are making an illegal sexual relation with someone else. Who will be happy? Everyone. Apply this to riba. Apply this to zina. Apply this to drugs. Subhanallah. So that's why the general idea, if Islam is applied, everyone will be happy. Except who? People who will benefit from the evil. يسألونك عن الخمر والميسر قل فيهما إثم كبير. What? ومنافع للناس. They ask you about gambling, or Muhammad, and alcohol. Say they contain a lot of harm and some benefits. Definitely some benefits. But for who? Those who manufacture, those who control. How many people they became suicidal after going to Las Vegas? You know what I'm talking about? They go, they gamble, they lose everything, they kill themselves. Became crazy. Have you watched on the YouTube? Crazy. I do watch these things. You look at them. After he loses everything, literally crazy, he will throw them to. Sometimes they kill themselves. But why? Because the whole idea of gambling, it's against the nature of the design of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You gain gradually, you put efforts, you bring money. Gambling, you set, it brings the adrenaline in reverse. You put just 10, 1,000. What? 1 million. Okay, 10 million. Zero. Kills you. 1 million. Zero. 10 million. Zero. You know, it kills you. It's against the nature. There's a graduality. You feel, you work, you get tired, you have a salary. You work, you take money. But something you don't work, you just throw it, 10 million. What? Out of an anxiety, you will put the 10 million. You will lose all of them. Haram. It kills you. Because at the end, you will do what? Nothing. What is the productivity that you are doing? Zero. So you understand the value of prohibited and allowed and propagation in Islam. You will respect Islam even if you are an atheist. Wallahi. Wallahi, if you are a non-religious, agnostic, atheist, when you understand the justification of Islamic law, you would love Islamic law to be applied on you. Wallahi. If there is no obstacle of mainstream media to Sharia law, terrorism, blah, 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 you know. Subhanallah. La ilaha illallah. Type. All of this is just an introduction before I speak about the martyrs, which means it's a social responsibility. Type. One of two martyrs and we finish our study session, inshallah. خباب رضي الله عنه الصحابة خباب من الأرات narrates in the hadith صحيح قال هاجرنا مع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ونحن نبتغي وجه الله فوقع أجرنا على الله فمنا من مضى لسبيله لم يأكل من أجره شيئا منهم مصعب بن عمير قتل يوم أحد ولم يترك إلا نميرة كنا إذا غطينا رأسه بدت رجلاه وإذا غطينا رجليه بدا رأسه فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم غطوا رأسه واجعلوا على رجليه من الإذخر ومنا من أينعت له ثمرته فهو يهدبها. The meaning, Khabbab, he says, we were with Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم. We fought. We faced big obstacles. Some of us, in the very early stages, they lost their lives and they became martyrs. And some of us, they lived and they harvest, the beauty of this dunya before going to the akhirah. He mentioned in specific from those Mus'ab bin Umair. In specific. In this hadith, the one who does not know the context of Mus'ab will not realize what's the meaning of this hadith. Because he says, when he was killed, radiyallahu anhu, in Uhod, they could not find more than a piece of cloth on him, which was very small and short. if they covered his head, his feet will be exposed. If they covered, the lower part of his body, his face will be exposed when he is put in the grave. Then Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, cover his head and and put some kind of bushes and some kind of trees on his in the lower part of his body. But why he's mentioning that? Because Mus'ab is known that he was one of the richest youth in Mecca. In specific, Mus'ab radiallahu anhu. He was so rich, and he has many stories about that. But so rich means, rich. Rich means he's living an easy life. Perfume, a lot of camels, horses, money, food, water, support, extended family. He was not in need to work. But why this young? And at that time, by the way, for Arabs, and not just Arabs, many people on earth, there was no limitations in marriage. You know that? Some of the Arabs before Islam, they used to have more than 20 wives, some of them 90, some of them 100. And by the way, this was not a phenomenon among the Arabs. Wherever you go, just open. Wherever you go, east, west, north, south. So Mus'ab, he was a youth, rich, having the access to do many things and enjoy his life. Subhanallah. He left everything and he had a big struggle with his mother in specific. So that's why he was mentioning that they could not find a piece of cloth even to cover his body when he left. Subhanallah. Rabih al-Bay'. But he succeeded in the test because, as you know, basically why, the same thing by the way for us now. Now we, all of us here in this masjid, what is more pleasant and what is more enjoyable for the human beings now? To go and chant and dance and look at beautiful things and sit with the beautiful girls and go to the, I'm not talking about haram and halal, or to sit just to keep praying. What is more pleasant to the heart? Not from spiritual point of view, from normal human point of view. If we go now and have barbecue and drink some nice drinks and sit with the beautiful girls and dance and some music, it's more beautiful. Why not? What is more pleasant for you? To stay with a humble Hyundai car or Ferrari? But Ferrari maybe cannot be brought except if you are a drug dealer. But a Hyundai, if I have alhamdulillah. It happens. Yes, it's a test. It is. We are in the same test, by the way. Now, we are in the same test. Because around us, all kinds of pleasures are easy. Forget, now it's free. Who does not have access for a free Wi-Fi from among us? Free Wi-Fi, wherever you go now. But how many porno sites we can access for free? Well, it's a big fitna. It's not easy. Wallah, it's a big fitna. Because by the way, even the porno sites, you don't search for them, they come to you. You don't go to them. Normally, during the history, any haram thing needs some kind of efforts. Wallahi, needs efforts. If you want to do haram, you need to plan, you need to search, you need to hide secretly, you need to lie. Now you are sitting fi amanillah, doing nothing, reading your email or searching, or just boom, in your face, the ad. It's in your face. Even sometimes you can't remove the ad with the naked woman except when you put the click. And sometimes the X click will open the website. And sometimes after curiosity, wallahi, you might delve into, you don't know what will happen. It happened with all of us. How easy the haram now is. But logically now. And I'm serious in my question. Just freeze the concept of halal and haram now. Normal men, do they feel happy when they see beautiful naked women or not? It's part of the desire. But why we stop our sight from looking? Because it's haram. But is this striving or not? You're struggling, yes. The same thing, Mus'ab radiallahu anhu. So that's why Khabbab say, Hajarna, wa nahnu nabtaghi wajha Allah. We migrated with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we were seeking just Allah, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's it. This should be clear now. Your son, your daughter, your wife, your husband, if sisters are listening, the same thing. قال فمنا من مضى ولم يأكل من أجره شيء, like Mus'ab. You know, the very still, and by the way, he was the first ambassador of Islam. And let me just finish his story with this simple thing. Mus'ab, to the best of my, if I'm not mistaken in my memory, he was 26 when he was sent as the first ambassador of Islam to Medina. In 1 year, you know, after Bay'at al-Aqaba, we know, he returned back and said, يا رسول الله جئتك من المدينة وليس فيها بيت لم يدخله Islam. 1 year, he said, I came here to the Medina and there is not even one single house, but at least someone has entered Islam. Which is like a, you know, an expression of it was spread. Who did that? One person. Who is Mus'ab? Young man, 26, 24, more or less. What kind of serious attitude, what kind of energy he used to have, and he was, by the way, he faced the death many times with the great leaders of Al-Madinah, because this Meccan young man is coming to change our culture. Stranger, no backing system, no family with him, no one to protect him, and he's sitting with the people and changing their mind, and they decide to stop worshipping their big idols, in our language now, to change their values, to change their culture. What? Many times they came with their swords, the great leaders of Al-Aws al-Khazraj. What are you saying? Say, the only thing he used to say, with all due respect, do you mind listening to me for a few minutes? Holding there, okay, speak. 10 minutes. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد محمد رسول الله. Mus'ab, this is Mus'ab. Subhanallah, ربح البيع. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam ربح البيع. For him and for all other Sahaba, which means, I mean, your bargain has succeeded or has won. You won with your bargain. أسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن أكون مثلهم. And the other Sahabi, which I will finish my talk today, Abdullah bin Jahsh, وصدقه مع ربه. Abdullah bin Jahsh, one of the Sahaba, his name is Abdullah bin Jahsh رضي الله عنه. قال إني أقسم أن نلقى العدو فإذا لقينا العدو أن يقتلوني ثم يبقر بطني ثم يمثل بي فإذا لقيتك سألتني فيما هذا فأقول فيك أي يا رب فلقي العدو ففعل ذلك به. Now Abdullah bin Jahsh, it was witnessed by the surrounding. He was doing qasam. They say, Ya Allah, I swear by you that my intention, that I want to meet you in the day of judgment, standing before you, and when you ask me, Ya Allah, what have you done? I would say I was killed and I was chopped and cut to pieces while defending your religion against the enemy and the supporters of the evil. And he did. قالوا قد فعل. Which means it's an Arabic expression, it's an Arabic exaggeration, rhetorical expression languages to show how serious and determined they were. Which is say, it's like, for example, when you see me, for example, I say, أقسم بالله يا رب, I ask you to let me be from such and such and such when I meet you. And I fulfill my promise and my covenant. This is exactly Abdullah bin Jahsh. And we have a lot of sahih hadith about their honest and their genuine attitude. And the final message that I want to send. When I was preparing and reading about Abdullah bin Jahsh, reading about Mus'ab bin Umayr, and you know, the battle of Badr, and many battles, subhanAllah, martyrs. Some people, when we speak, this is history. I was imagining myself if an atheist or a non-believer was watching us. Okay? An idea might come to his mind. They say, but excuse me, what's the benefit of teaching this thing? Why you are talking about this? Why are filling the minds of your followers about these things? They say, okay, pause, forget us. Nowadays, secular societies, do they highlight and they are proud of their heroes who were fighting in First, Second World War or not? Yes or no? Type. What happens in Ukraine now against the Russians? Those who are killed, they are considered what? In their language. I'm talking about now non-Muslims. Do they consider those people who are killed in Ukraine against the Russians heroes or not? Yes or no? Type. Has anyone promised them with anything after death? Nothing. Okay. Is there anyone who can claim that when they die, they can be benefited in their systems that they are controlling now? Yani, can, for example, what's his name, the Ukrainian president? Zelensky, for example. Has someone in the level of Zelensky or something like him, he said, look, I promise you and I have the proof for this, my promise. If you are killed by the Russians, I will give you such and such when you die. Anyone? No one can claim because no one control it. Simply for him, in our human calculation, he is lost, he's finished, and that's it. After he is deceased, basically, he is somewhere else for them. They are honoring him. He's not receiving anything with their honor. He's not benefited at all. Yet, they're still doing this, what? What do you want to call it? Great job? Whatever it is, call it. They are still ready to fight, defending themselves, defending their countries, and they're considered heroes and martyrs. You know why I'm telling you that? Because when you speak about history, you will see some evil minds of Muslims themselves. You see this history, battles and something, ya salam. Now they don't have battles now? They don't fight now? Don't they consider them heroes now? Now. We are civilized people now, 21st century. On daily basis, we have wars still. And anyone who is killed from the point of view of his country, his people, his society, his whatever, is considered a hero. Even though none of them is able to control anything of his second whatever it is. They don't have it. But at least we have something to offer. Our bargain is better. Are you with me? By the way, I'm using the logical common sense now. Because now, as we say, everyone else is promising you of nothing. That's it. Khalas, you are a hero, but you don't know that we are honoring you after you because you are lost. You know nothing. But in our faith system, you are promised of the akhirah. طب check it. طب okay, but how can I know? Ya ammi, طب why you sold yourself for other systems without even asking for compensation? Why? Depending on what? You tell me. It's, by the way, I'm not in need to defend myself. You need to defend yourself. You tell me. If you consider me crazy as a believer, please tell me what you are in reality when you sold yourself for nothing. At least I'm selling myself for the Jannah. But you are crazy. And what about you? You are selling yourself for 72 virgins. Okay, we don't have 72 virgins. Okay, it's not just we don't have this. But the idea. What about you? You sold yourself for what? To put a statue for you in the road, and everyone comes and they salute you. Okay, are you benefiting from this? You are there somewhere. Your bones, I don't know what happened with them. Depending on what? Logically speaking with you. Depending on what? You are doing this for the sake of what? If I'm a crazy, you are double crazy. Seriously, logically speaking. They promised you to honor your family. For me, I was promised to be honored and my family. But what is the guarantee? I believe in my Lord. And my Lord, that أخذه سنة ولا نوم. He does not forget, he is not weak. What is the possibility of 100% certainty of guarantee that even after your death, if you are a non-believer, what they have promised you, they will make it to you? What's the guarantee? Nothing. How many companies, big international companies, and even states, they were completely bankrupt and collapsed? Two big examples in the last 10 years. Two big examples, last 10 years. Greece, Lebanon. Financial system of the state itself collapsed. You have no right to have your money from the bank. Your money. No right. By force they prevent you. Do you know this? Greece and Lebanon. Lebanon now, they are living this now. Greece about a few years ago. They kept flooding them with billions, European Union, just to keep them stable. They couldn't. Billions and billions and billions. They were because of the corruption. State. What about the money of the people in the banks? Collapsed completely. No guarantee. No guarantee. But with Allah. So please be careful about this. My point now is not just the Battle of Uhud. I'm talking about what behind the scene of the big picture, of the big philosophy of how do we understand things. Now, in this context, even though I finished, if I beg your pardon just for a few minutes, I said this maybe twice or three times in the past, but let me just repeat it. It could contain some benefit for some of you, inshallah. The what if strategy that I used to use with my students at the university, especially with the atheists. I used to have atheists in my classes back in my university. So I used to tell them the following. I said, as a believer, I believe that there is a hereafter and there is accountability, and I will be standing before my Lord and I will be asked, and inshallah, if I fulfilled my duties, I will be rewarded eternally in the Jannah, inshallah, by God willing. Type. So, for an atheist, God does not exist. The whole unseen and hereafter, they do not exist. Type. Logically speaking, I said, this is Mr. Atheist, this is Mr. Me. Let's put it mathematically that his faith has a weight of 50% and mine is a 50%. If what he believes in happen to be true, what I'm gonna lose when I die? He believes that we came out of nothingness by the law of coincidence, and we will be nothingness, Adam. Does the nothingness realize anything? Type. If his 50% now, the what if theory, he believes that we came from nothing and we will be nothing. Okay, type. I was an idiot. I was brainwashed. So I was leading a life of I don't drink, I don't lie, I don't hurt, I don't steal, I respect the people, I smile in their faces, everyone loves me. But I was an idiot that I did not drink, I did not commit zina, I did not kill, I did not participate in criminal, activity because it's haram. Okay. So for many people, I am a pure idiot. Okay, I accept, no problem. I'm Mr. Pure Idiot. On my nafukh, on nafukhi? Okay, no problem. Okay. 50%. When I die, I will be, according to your theory, I will be nothing. So, what I'm gonna lose? Nothing, because I'm nothing. I will be nothing. But I was an idiot for 50 years, that's it. I will be nothing. I will not realize that I have lost anything because I will be nothing. Right. Let's come to the beautiful part of the story now. What if? What if, Mr. Habibi, what I believe in happened to be true, Mr. Atheist or non-believer? Yalla, let's activate the second 50% of what if. According to your what if, I'm losing nothing. But according to mine, you decided to lead a life of ignorance, attacking this false God, making fun of the religion of this God, having arrogance against God, and when the angel of death came to you, you opened your eyes. Tafadhal Habibi. Some people say, is it possible? Yeah, I mean, it's possible. It's like you living in America, for example. Imagine that you are a Russian supporting the Russian KGB, and God forbid, you hate America. And you are living in America. And everyone around you say, hey, be careful from the CIA and the FBI. You say, who told you that Aslan there is a CIA and the FBI? They don't exist. And you kept making fun of them, attacking them. okay, insulting them in public, in your public videos. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. When they decided to bring you, I mean, what can you do? You have 1,000 video insulting them. And they came to you, they surrounded you, put you, the journey of torture started. What can you do? Nothing. Face the consequences. True or false? وَلِلَّهِ الْمَثُلُ الْأَعْلَى. Just a simple example. The fact that you deny that they do exist does not mean that they do not exist. It's just you decided to deny this possibility. So what if? But I told you, logically, it's not an emotional approach, be careful. You claim that nothing. طب nothing, I mean, I will be afraid of what? Nothing. Because I came from nothing. And there's no accountability. I mean, I don't care to listen to you. You have to listen to me. You have. But I don't care to listen to you. You say, be careful. You will be nothing. Okay. Be careful. Don't do this. You can't tell me don't do or do. Or you can't, because there's nothing you can threaten me about. Because I will be nothing. But I have a possibility of threatening you. Be careful. It's like you and me debating. I tell you, be careful. There's a lion behind the wall. You told me, no. There is no lion. Who should be listening to who? Can you make any threat for me to tell me, hey, be careful behind? No, you say there is nothing. You will threatening me with what? Nothing. But I told you, be careful. I have an evidence that there's a lion, very hungry lion, behind the wall. You can't say I don't care, but I can say I don't care. Because you have nothing. By the way, this logic, if you apply it on the whole idea of Islam, you can't avoid thinking with one of two decisions, no third one. It's either you have to reconsider and consider, think in depth and submit, or simply what? Neglect and ignore, which is what? Kafara. The story is very clear, by the way. Wallahi, very logical, common sense results. Nothing. Anyway, we made it a philosophical discussion today, okay? Jazakum Allah khair. Even though we were talking about martyrs. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. See you tomorrow in the tafsir, bi-idhnillah.